Alright guys, so today we're going to be replacing the calipers on the RX8. I posted the last video, we were repainting it. Currently we have the stock calipers on them. We have the Brembos off a GT500 Mustang. We've got new brake pads here. We've got the adapter to mount the new rotors onto the car. I've got some extra bolts that we will need to mount the adapter to the current caliper that we have. We're gonna have to tap our current setup so we can fit up the adapters. Here's Connor. I'm gonna pass him the camera. He's gonna record today. We're just taking off the wheel here, and that's the current setup that we have, which is OEM RX8 Mazda. And yeah, he'll take over from here. Take out the calipers now. 2 volts, 14 millimeter. And it should be free. Oh, it's almost time for it. We're going to take off the caliper bracket next. 2 17 millimeters, and it should be loose. So the bracket is out. Put that on the side for now, and we'll go ahead and remove the rotor, disconnect the caliper, and we'll see what's next. Let's take off the spacers here. You're going to remove the rotor by 2 screws here holding it. A lot of times it's going to be rusted, so you might want to heat it up or just put some WD-40 before it. We're going to try loosening it, see if that works. If not, heat it up. We have the rotor out. Now we're going to start installing the adapter there. So I'm going to trim the dust shield a little bit just because it's interfering with the new rotors. We could either remove it completely or just trim it up so it doesn't rub against the rotor. Better. For the top one, you could just push it back or just remove it completely if you have to. And now it doesn't rub anymore. So that's step 1. And tap the knuckle here so we can put the new adapter. Alright, so what we need here is we need a 9/16 by 12 tap, and we're going to need a couple bolts that I'm going to put in the description. I think it's 9/16 by 55 millimeter for the long ones, and then the short ones here, M12, and I'll tell you why we need that. So how this adapter works is basically we're gonna have to tap the OEM Mazda knuckle so we can fit that here. That's gonna go this way. And then the Brembos will come on the plate here. So because this one here is not tapped, we're gonna have to drill it and tap it with the 9/16 by 12. And then I will show you guys how we can fit the new rotor with the bracket there to fit the Brembo calipers. All right, so to use this tap, we're gonna have to use 3164 drill bit, So I got this from Princess Auto, which is this guy here. Now, I'm going to spray a little bit of WD-40 just so I can avoid heating the drill bit. So what we're going to do is I have my tap here. I'm going to grease it up a little bit. Whenever you want to tap something, you want to make sure you grease it up. And you want to make sure you go as straight as possible on this as well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and slowly tap this thing. Now every time with the tap, you don't want to go in all the way. You want to go in a couple turns and back off. And go back in. You don't want to go straight, one shot in. Once you feel resistance, go back a little bit, back out, and then go back in again. Just so you clear up the threads and the shavings. You can see all shavings coming out. So again, we want to make sure we don't destroy this, because if we destroy the knuckle, then we have to replace the knuckle, and that is not needed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out all the way, re-grease it and go back in. That's all shavings there, so we're going to clean it up and then re-grease and go back in. Alright, so we should be able to thread it by hand easily first, wherever we started, because now it's like a screw. Go all the way, and then put back your ratchet and start tapping more. Make sure you go in all the way just to make sure it's threaded properly. Alright, now we're going to back out, and we should be done with this side here. Now if we look inside the hole, you're going to see, where is it? You can see the threads over there that we just created, compared to the top one is just a hole, and the bottom one has threads. So we can then use our bolt that we're going to need to hold the new bracket in, and we're going to try it out just to make sure it is properly threaded. I'm going to have to put some WD-40 to clean it, but there you go. That's all we need for now. I'm going to do the same thing with the top, and then I'll show you guys what's next. Now we can fit the new caliper bracket and mount on the Brembos. So I'm going to put the camera down and show you guys. So there we have the new bracket, the caliper bracket for the Brembos. I'm going to go ahead and install the rotors now and the Brembo on top of it. So I have 1-inch spacer, 25 milli. And I think you would need a spacer for the big brake kit. Or else I think you'll have clearance issue with the rim and the Brembo. That you would have to put some sort of spacers on the rims. And I think the minimum is what I have, which is 25 millimeter. Okay, so we put the rotors on, we have the bracket at the back already installed. Now we're just putting the Brembo brake pads. So we already put the first one. We're gonna install the second brake pad. So that's gonna go like that. Slide it in, and then insert the bottom pin. Make sure it lines up. So we're gonna tap it in place just so it locks in. So that's all the way in. Now I want to put the spring here, this way here. The whole idea is the indents here put tension on the brake pads. So we're going to bend that over, put the top one in, slide it through. Just make sure everything is in place. That's good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bleed the lines. We have this bottle here with bleeder. I'm going to put the same one on the other side, and then we loosen up the bleeder screw and start pumping until we drain all the air out, and we'll take it for a test drive.